Okay, this video is a long time in coming, and it's for Mecca the Great, and I've just been having so much difficulty in trying to film the video. I filmed it a few times all the way through, and then it just did not upload. So this is, sweet girl, this is our first art lesson, and like I said, you are such a natural talent. I've seen all your drawings, your mom showed me, and they are really good. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you proportion. So today's class is just going to be about facial proportion on the front-facing portrait. So, and I hope you can see this with my lighting. So it doesn't matter when you're drawing a face, the same dimensions is going to be the same. It doesn't matter how many what face you're going to make. Even though people do have features that are, you know, some people's eyes are not exactly equal to the other ones. One person's eyebrow might be higher than their other eyebrow. Their lips may not be proportioned, but this is just the general rule of placement. So that way when you start to draw people with, actual people with their features, and they're not all models, so they don't have perfect proportionate faces. But so this general rule will help you get started when you do start to draw portraits. So general rule is whatever size circle you have, okay? Let's just say that this is somebody's face. This is the top of their head, not their forehead. This part here is the top of their head, and let's say this will be their chin. Okay? So my circle is like that. Don't worry about the lines. Don't worry about it being completely perfect. This is just freehand. Okay, so halfway in between the top of your head and your chin, you want to kind of put a guiding line. These are called guiding lines. I've seen some people do like boxes and stuff. To me, I mean, that's all great and stuff, but this freer hand of drawing is a lot better. You won't force yourself if you make a mistake to have to stay in the box. So halfway are the eyes, okay? So you make a cross, now you want to make a vertical, straight down. Okay, these are your guiding lines, okay? So you have halfway. Now, halfway between where your eye guiding line is and your chin is going to be your nose. Halfway down. You know, it's just a rough estimate. Okay, and then halfway between your nose and your chin are your lips. There you go. That is your guide. So half and half are your eyes. Half of that is your nose, and then half from your nose to your chin is your mouth line. Okay, so it's tricky when you start out eyes because you don't know where to place it. Just know wherever you put your eye has to be in the middle between the middle line and your outer ear. I mean your outer side of your guide here. Okay, let's say your eyeball will be the size, should normally be the size of the width of your nose. So measure your eyeball. I mean not your eyeball, but your eye from the tear duct to the end. And then put it right over your nose, and it should fit on your nose. God made us all proportioned for a reason. We're proportioned to our own bodies. So your pencil is the best measuring tool you have, because if you put your pencil and you measure your head, okay, I tell you, you can use your pencil to measure your head and all your where your eyes are going to go, and it will measure out correctly. Okay, so let's say, okay, you want to start with your eye. You can start with the eyeball. This is your actual eyeball. Okay, I'm going to just do one side. Okay, so you got your eyeball there. That's usually pretty big because your eyes are pretty big. depending on what shape eye you're going to have. I'm Asian, so I'm going to have like an almondy kind of eye. Okay. So there you go. And this part here, your lid never, always overlaps your eye. So that's your, your eyeball, right? Your eye line or your lid line always overlaps. Okay. And depending on your eye, so this just comes with practice and looking at people and drawing from models. It depends on how your eye is. You might have a wider eyes and they might go farther here and you can see the whole pupil and iris. Or you might be more slanted eye or, squintier. So the closer you'll get to this, to your, I don't know what that's called, your iris. Your pupil, sorry. So, okay, let's just do that. And then now your eyelid is going to come very lightly depending on, and it should go right above like that. So that's why we keep our the eyeball round shape there, because that is your guiding line of where you're going to want to go with your eyelid. Okay, see that? So, your eye in the middle of the pupil should be in the middle of your nose line and the edge of your face. So I'm just going to put a guiding line. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, up and down. Now, we have our first eye. The general rule is the width of this eye will be exactly or about one width of this eye away till your next eye. So this eyeball is, let's just say that much. So I'm going to take this to the end, and then where I tap it, where I mark it right here will be the beginning of my eyeball. My eye. Sorry, I keep wanting to say eyeball. Okay, so that's the beginning of my eye. Now I want to go ahead and find out my halfway point between this one and this one. So, and it's just going to kind of, you're just going to freehand it. You don't want to take out measuring tools or anything like that, and then you'll just, that's when you want to be really into realistic portraiture. You can do that. But people use lots of things to get over doing that, and that's for another time. Okay, so this right here, this where the two lines intersect, should be where your eye or your pupil starts. So get about roughly the same size pupil or eyeball. Okay, then I might have made it too large. Then you're just going to sketch out almost the same way you sketched out your other eye. And like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but at least we're practicing and we'll get it, right? So I got my eye. So you can see that this eyeball here, this is the iris, so pupil. No, that's pupil, and the iris is inside, so I don't know what the eyeball. So I'm just going to shape it to where it kind of matches that size. Then remember, I'm doing my eyelid. It goes right above. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to erase. Oh, this is a bad eraser. I'm going to erase some of my lines. And I'm going to pause. Part 2, I'm going to erase this some of these lines just so it doesn't get too, and this eraser doesn't work very well. So there we go. So in the middle, then I have two almost symmetrical eyes. It's a little, maybe not look too symmetrical because I'm doing this sideways. I'm kind of sitting off to the side here, trying to be able to videotape this. So right in the middle here, this would be where your iris is, right? And that looks kind of scary, right? So then you want to do your pupil, and your pupil is always darker than the rest of your eye. Okay, so you want to do some, you know, reflection and glare, and we'll get on to that. Okay, so next is eyebrows are always tricky. Always tricky. So we're going to do that at the end. We're going to start with our nose. This, right in the middle between the middle guiding line and the nose guiding line, is going to be the tip of your nose. So just put like a circle. This is the easiest way to put a nose. So you just do a little round dot. That is the tip of your nose. Okay. Then you're going to go right underneath it. That's just a guide, that little circle, so don't worry about it. Then you're just going to kind of make like a, you know, this part where your nostrils go. Right here. That's like your nostrils. Okay. So that if you could take your pencil again, you can measure from the edge of your nose here, and it should measure from the edge of your nose to your tear duct, to the end of your eye, at your, what is it? Yeah, your tear duct. So this part of your nose, this part here, should match up roughly. So that's another guideline right there. Okay? So right there. So that's where the outer side of your nose goes. Depending your heritage, your ethnic background, your nose can, you know, be wider like this, or thinner, or, you know, sharper, but I'm just doing a generic nose. So when you look at your nose closely, you can see that you want to put like a line there, but it doesn't really do that. It kind of goes in there, and then when you have shadow, so it kind of tucks in. So when you have shadow and stuff, then it kind of looks like your nose disappears, like this part of your nose under your pupil, but it really doesn't. So this is like the general way of doing your nose. Okay, so I did my other guiding line, and then you're just gonna slender it, and you don't want to do it too much. You know, you don't want to bring it out here and stuff like that, because that's when we do shading, that's when you will trick people's eyes into thinking that you have a fully formed nose. So, okay, I have that. So I'm going to erase that there. And so you should have, looks like I overwent a little bit there with that line. It's okay. I'll just fix it real quick. Okay, there you go. So that is like the tip of your nose. Okay, so of course you have like there. Okay, now this is where I get, this is how I start my eyebrows. So this is the indation, your nose bridge, right? You go up from there, just right above your eyelid, and I start my eyebrow. Okay? Depending on the shape of your eyebrow, you just make a little arch. Now, your eyebrow always is going to end at slight angle. Not always, I guess some depends. So you will, and that's why it looks like it's an arch. And that there is going to be, you know, you're going to test that. Okay? So, and the tricky part is sometimes trying to make it symmetrical. But, you know, that's the best thing with art. The more practice you have, the better you get. And this is all about tricking other people's eyes into seeing what is not here on the paper, because this is just a one-dimensional. okay? And you are trying to make it as 2D or 3D as you can, okay? By shading and stuff like that. Okay, so we did the nose. Now, you know, right under the nose and above your lips, you have like those little lines, right? I don't know what that is called, but then it's like, okay, we get to the next guiding line. We're going to treat this next guiding line as the middle of where our two lips meet. So, if you want to have a bow-shaped lips, the end of your lips is going to meet right where, you remember when we did the guiding line between this eye here and this eye here to find the middle of our eyes, okay? Where this meets the guiding line of the mouth is the ends of your lips, okay? Pretty much. It may seem big, but I tell you, it's not really big because this is not really the lip part that we see that we put color on. That's like our opening of our, you know, it goes all the way there. Okay, so I am going to slightly do that. Okay, usually the points of the bow should line up with your nostrils, usually. And that just depends. So this is the middle of our mouth, okay? So this part kind of is going to be shaded. Now, think about how you want your lips. Are your lips, you know, fuller? Are they thinner? Apparently, I'm making this person's lips thinner. So we put this here very lightly shaded to the end of our lips. But that's not really where our lips are. But that is the flesh that's right under the lips, okay? So, and you just play around with it, okay? You can start by doing like 2 little things here and like 4 little balls there. And then use those as guides of how you want your lips to be. Or however you see, because of course, I made it her lips too wide. Okay. So if I was to put lipstick on this lips, it would be like from here to here. All that would be colored in like that. And then these kind of fade. There. Can you see that? Oh, I don't like this one. It's hard to get on this side of the paper at this angle. Okay, video 3. We're continuing on the lips, and I was just having to, because I got too much pencil down. So there we go. So that's the guide of our lips. Okay, when you're looking, I'm just making this up, this person's face. This is not anybody particular face or anybody, you know, or a photograph or whatever. I'm just out of my head. So now what you want to do, this is like the top of your chin. If you have a pronounced chin, you can go like this, you know. But then again, that's all about shading when you do shading. Some people's chin might be a little bit further down. So it just depends. I'm just going to go like that. Okay, so now the fun part is getting the shape of the face. Okay. So, I usually like to start at the chin. And we'll rough it out. Rough it out. I'm just going to give her more of an oval face. Okay. And that is the top of the head. So, over here, that is the flat top of the head. So we're going to have, you know, you're going to have your hairline over here. Okay. So, let me move the line so you can see better. Kind of round it out for the cheeks. And you can see how I correct it a little bit, so I'm going a little bit lower, and that's okay. Okay. Okay, now this side. You want to do a little chin, and you can. And let's look. Let me do it left-handed. Can I do it left-handed? It's been so long since I did left hand. No. Okay. This is really awkward. Okay, here we go. It's just I'm trying to see at the same time. My other side. Okay, I did too much pencil. And just try to get it symmetrical. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because you know what? Sometimes people who don't know how to do proportion or really well, they end up like covering that eye and that side of the face. And you don't want to do that. You want to practice even though if it's not going to look proportioned. Okay? This is not one of my best pieces, but then again, it's okay because I'm trying to talk and do the same time. Okay, so your ear. You remember where your eye guiding line was. So your tip of the ear will be where the middle, like the end of your eye, hits right here. Okay, the tip, let me see. Yes. So using your pencil again, if you do that to yourself and put that to the end of to where your eye is, it will hit the top of your ear. And it may not look like it, but it will. And then your ear ends where your nose is. So let's just say you can see this person's ear. That's kind of like how the ear would be. But you can't really, when you're doing portrait like that, you don't really see the ear. You may see like the tip. Oh, you may see the tip and maybe the bottom. Okay. No, don't tell me I'm all out of pencil. Okay. So I had to go get another pencil. So video 4. So from right there to the bottom of your mouth would be where it usually is. Okay? But you can't really see the ear. Okay? If I wanted to, let's say, give her a funky hairstyle, I can go like that. Not really funky, but let's give her wispy hair. And then I'm going to take her ear. Wait, let me measure again. No, I'm sorry. Okay, the tip of the ear would be where your eyebrow line is. That's where I'm wanting to put it, and I just measured it, and it sure enough, it is. So you can see some of her ear here. And then it goes, yeah, to where the nose is. Okay, so that would be the ear. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some hair. Oh, this pencil is driving me nuts. Okay. Now the neck, your neck really attaches where your ear is, the bottom of your ear, right? But if you draw it like that, it's going to look like she has such a thick neck if you draw it like that. So the eye is telling me that it's going to curve in and kind of disappear right here, even though it's really attached over there. So it'll go like this. Curve in. And depending, okay, depending on how you shade it, your neck is not going to look like a big, like your arm or something, okay? So you're going to have hair going, so the tip of your head. Sometimes when you have hairstyles, it's going to go taller, but I'm just going to do the hairstyle like this, so that way you can see that's where the head goes. Okay? Now this is all Okay, let me go ahead and erase the lines so we can go ahead and see how we like this. And when you get better at sketching, your lines won't be so dark, and that way it would be way easier to erase, and then you can see your finished project. I'm gonna redo that eye. It just got so dark, that other eraser. Okay, and there's the ear. Okay, so we had the ear, and it's very dark. I do apologize. It's dark because I'm trying to have it on there so you can see it. And I'm just generalizing the ear again, and you should not do that. You should really try to draw what you see. But anyways, let me move that hair. I think that's what's bothering me, is the hair there. I'm going to have her hair come out. So that is her ear. Oh, pencils. I'm not having any luck. I can't find any of my drawing pencils because of these boys. So it's tricking me. Okay, there we go. So we have her ear. There we go. Okay, now I can correct. Say, this eye was way bigger. I don't have it as, I had it more in, almondy like that. Okay? Alright, well, you get the point. And this paper, okay, and then when you get that down, we're going to learn how to do some shading. Don't forget those lip things too. You don't want it that pronounced. It's very, very light. And when you start shading and using color, you're gonna tell. But don't forget that. And you see where all your sketch lines are pretty good. It's pretty good. I myself, I love sketchy kind of pictures, because it just, when you are stuck with trying to make it perfect and no lines and no, that is great when you're already at that point. And this is a teaching session, so it's not like I'm doing this for a client or anything like that. So you just want to shape however you're gonna do it. You find the shades, and depending on your light source, you know, that's how you, depending on your light source, that's what you're gonna do, if that makes sense. So this was just a lesson in proportion of the face. Okay, she does not look realistic, but it brings the lesson for more how you can understand it. And I guarantee you, if you take a picture like this and you go ahead, and she's missing the top of her head. If you take a portrait like this, straight down, oh, see, it doesn't want to work. I guess it doesn't work on these glossy magazines. There we go. And of course, straight down. Her forehead would be like the top of her head would be like right here. Like that, okay? If I go like this, gosh, so hard. And then she is like puckering her lips. And like I said, that people's proportions are different. Nobody is perfect. All of those proportions that I told you were just estimations. It helps you guide, they're guiding lines. You do not have to stick with that, but that helps you get what you need down fast on paper, so that way you can hurry up and draw and get all the details that you want. Okay? Alright? So halfway down the head are the eyes. Halfway between the head and the chin is, the eyes and the chin is the nose. Halfway between the nose and the chin is the mouth, okay? And then you can see right here where your eyebrow is, your ear kind of slants up. That's what it looks like, okay? If you are looking at a straight-on figure, okay? And it's hard to find a good picture in this magazine of people with their head straight and looking. But, and she's a little tilted, but it's going to work. It's going to work in every situation to help you, guiding lines to help you get what you want on your paper as fast as you can. And then if you're drawing from photograph, then you will be beginning to put in details of your photo, of your subject, okay? And I suggest using magazines to help you, or even your own portrait, your own picture. Get a little mirror, have it sitting up, a standing up mirror or something like that, and practice on yourself. Practice your face. You know, start with your circle and then your guiding lines and start to draw your face. It's not going to look perfect, but the more you start to do that, the better you will be. So, yeah, there you go. I'm not going to worry about that, but I just wanted to show you the proportion of the face. Apparently all my pencils have failed me. Let's see if I can do this. It looks like she's kind of looking sideways. I'm telling you, I swear, I think it's because I'm standing sideways. I'm having her look at me. A little freaky. Wait, I'm talking to myself again. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's see if that works. Okay. All right. This might help in being able to see what I'm talking about a little better. And I hope you get excited about drawing. You know, drawing as realistically as you can at first when you're starting out is very, very important. So I suggest you have your mom or you do a still life. And a still life is like, let's say you have flowers, or you put your pen here and you shine like your desk lamp on it, and then you draw that pen, and then the shadow, and then all the details. Or you can even do that with a flower. You can do that with a flower if you wanted to. And I wish I was there to be able to, you know, come and teach you and your siblings to draw like some classes. I would so love to do that. I would rather do that, but since That is not gonna happen. I'm doing this video for you because your mom loves you so much and she cares about you. Okay? So that is just quick portrait using guiding lines for proportion, and I hope you take this tip and you really use it on what you're drawing. I love your drawings, but next video will be shading. We're going to do portrait again, and then we're going to learn how to shade. If you have any questions, you let me know, and I will definitely, please make a video, a response video with your drawing that you did of what you have so far. And this week, I want you to get your sketchbook. And so you get your sketchbook paper, and I want you to put a line like this, divide it into 4 equal parts. This side, you're going to draw one object a day of what you see. Let's say you see, I don't know, a chair. You know, you're going to draw your chair. You're not going to draw it like this. I want you to spend at least 20 minutes on it, okay? And as best as you can. You don't have to measure. You don't have to do anything. Just draw it. Next day, if you see a leaf, draw a leaf, okay? Make it a nice composition if you want the leaf just over here coming out from the paper and then nothing else and just the shadow of it. Okay? Draw your hand. You can see your hand. You can look at your hand and try to draw it. The purpose is to get in a habit of sketching and drawing what you see. Since I can't be there to pick things for you to draw, you can definitely draw whatever you want. And if you also want to draw more of your, you know, your own figures or whatever, continue doing that. But let's try some real life drawings. And that will help you. That will help you. The more that we do those, and it doesn't even have to be 20 minutes. It can be 10 minutes. But let's get in the habit of doing it, and it'll make your journal, your art journal, more awesome when you have all of them in one journal, and that way you can see what you've been doing. And having, I don't know, artists, at least me and some of the artists I know, we love having our journals stuffed and filled with awesome, you know, drawn. It didn't even have to be awesome. It could just be like a sketch like this. Anything that you want. If you want to try to draw from a magazine, you know, the face that you looked at, please do that. Okay. So I hope this video is helpful, and let me see your response, video response. And if your mom can videotape you drawing some of it, at least, do that, please. Okay. So sorry again that I've been super late, and I hope this uploads. So let's keep this going. I'm hoping for a weekly, or at least a bi-weekly, which is every other week class. So if you don't hear from me, continue doing what you're doing, and I will put up the next video as soon as I can. All right. Hope you have a good one. Bye.